Today I've got how to make a sphere in No Man's Sky. 2 approaches in one video. But first of all, here's a link to how to make a perfect circle. I will cover that again later in the video, but it's best to familiarise yourself with it. Once you've built your perfect circle and removed the centre, this is what you want remaining. Now select the light floor, go into the wire menu, move the cursor to the centre of the connector point, hit the wire and place button at the same time. That's triangle and R2 on the PlayStation. You can find all platform buttons in the bottom left right now. Now we're going to extend the circle by 2 floor panels. Then we're going to delete the floor panel in the middle. Now it's adjacency time, so select the floor panel, green state it, and hit L2 and R2 at the same time, and that will jump to the small floor panel. So that's select the floor panel, green state it, hit L2 and R2 at the same time, you'll have the small floor panel. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, that's the last one. Next stage, select the light floor panel again, turn your camera around so you get a good angle on it. And you want to place it with a thick line facing to the centre. That is very important, the thick line must be facing the centre. Let's turn the 2 floor panels that are in line with the central wire, yellow. You can use it as a useful reference point later if you need to. Now to place the angled wire. As you can see, both connector points are at the same height because the light floor panel in the middle, that's very important. Now you pull the wire from the central light panel to the outer light panel. That is also very important, it has to be from the centre to the outer. We can now delete the light floor panel in the centre, and as you can see, the wire is angled at 90 degrees, very important. We can delete these floor panels, they're just going to get in the way. Now it's time to make the first angled circle. Select the floor panel, go into wire mode, select the connector point, hit triangle and R2 at the same time, place a floor panel underneath, reinstate a floor panel to the side. Now the reverse wire glitch, hit the wire and place button at the same time, pull the wire to connector point, make sure to select the right one, and then hit place and wire at the same time. Now you can delete the bottom floor panel and place 2 triangles as so. And then from each edge of each of the triangles, you're going to do the reverse wire glitch to the Banjo wire glitch. But don't worry if you think it's too dark at the moment, I'll go into detail how to do it again when it's daylight so you get a better idea. Now you've done each edge of the triangle, you can delete the triangle. Place floor panels like I'm doing right now, all the way out, all the way around. Once you've completed the circumference of the circle, you can delete everything in the centre. But be very careful at the centre, you don't want to delete those 2 wires. Now pull a wire from the bottom angled wire 90 degrees. The reason you're doing it at 90 degrees, it helps with making checks quite early on in the build so you know if you've done something wrong. Delete the old long wire. If you're not too confident, make plenty of saves. Maybe use the in and out of your ship save as well just to be double sure. The new wire, select the floor panel, go into the wire menu, select the connector point and hit wire and place at the same time. Then it's the reverse wire glitch to the Banjo wire glitch. If you haven't seen my perfect circle video, I'll repeat that process in detail in a couple of minutes. So placing the floor panels at a 90-degree angle, you're going to have a problem at the top and the bottom. It's not vital to have one at the top and the bottom. What the purpose of that one is to make sure they're intersecting correctly. Making sure they crisscross at the centre at 90 degrees. Once you know that, you can add more floor panels to the outer ring. Not only will these act as useful scaffolding, they're also an insurance policy. And this is what you want at this stage. Time to do the rest of the sphere. Pull a wire from the centre to the light floor panel on the outside, making sure it's the bottom one of course. Delete the previous wire. Select the floor panel, go into the wire menu, highlight the connector point and press wire and place at the same time. Place a floor panel underneath. Reinstate a floor panel to the left. Hit the place and wire button at the same time for the reverse wire glitch. Pull the wire to the angled connector point, then hit place and wire at the same time for Banjo's wire glitch. You can now delete the bottom floor panel. Now select the two triangles and place them as so. On the edges of the triangles, go from the reverse wire glitch to the Banjo wire glitch, placing a floor panel each time. When you've done the second edge of the first triangle, you can delete that triangle if it's getting in your way. Now do the reverse wire glitch to the Banjo wire glitch for the other two sides of that last remaining triangle. The spacing around the teeth will help you to know if you've done it correctly. Place the floor panels as so. You can delete the ones you don't need as you go along. It will help you keep track on what you're doing, especially when things get more complicated as you do more of these circles. Remember, you don't have to use the same build parts as I'm doing. I like these parts as scaffolding. You will have some snap issues, just angle your camera correctly to find the right snap points to make your life easier. Now carefully delete the ones in the centre, making sure not to delete the wires. Pull a wire from the central light panel to the outer light panel. Now you can delete the previous wire. And as you complete each segment, it's worth making a save. On a side note, if you want to make a bigger dome, you need to start with a bigger circle. But as it's a flipping technique, you have to go down and then back up again. I've got a video on how to make a 48-sided circle. I'll put the link to that at the top right now. But essentially you have to offset every segment of the sphere down there and then flip it back up. But we're not doing that in this build, so I can just get rid of all that. Let's get back to making the circle segments. Another side note, when you start filling it out, you're going to have to angle the camera a lot to find the snap points. Even when you're creating the circle in the centre, you're going to have to go back and forward from the front and the back just to find that snap point correctly. Okay, I'm going to replace the concrete floor panels with alloy floor panels, and I have a very good reason why I'm going to do that, but I'll come to that later. Right, this is what you want at this stage of the build. Now we can remove the light floor panels. And now it's time to place wires on the edge of the floor panels. Place a power door, as so. Select the small wall, green state it and do the reverse wire glitch. Pull the wire to the connector point on the power door. You can now delete the power door. Now you want to select the small wall, green state it. Against the top of the floor panel, reverse wire glitch and pull the wire to the bottom of the long wire. Okay, now you can delete the long wire and you want a short wire that looks like this with the power connector point facing that way. Right, I'll go into that in more detail this time. When you place the power door, you want it placed like this. The power connector is now furthest away from the top edge of the floor panel. If that connector point is close to the floor panel, you got the wrong side. When you green state and reverse wire glitch the short wall from that point, the snap point is a bit far away, but it's also going to be at an angle. But at this point, you can delete the power door, select the short wall again, and green state it against the top edge of the floor panel. This means when you reverse wire glitch, the top of the wire is now in line with the centre of the floor panel. You can now delete the long wire, and it's always worth double checking the direction as you go along. And to create the perfect sphere, you're going to have to do that for every edge of every floor panel. But also remember, because you did complete circles, it's going to flip halfway round. Select the power door and place it. Select the short wall, green state it, reverse wire glitch, pull the wire to the power door connector point. Delete the power door. Select the short wall, reverse wire glitch, from the top edge of the floor panel. Pull that wire to the short end of the long wire. Now you can delete the angled long wire and then move on to the next floor panel. Okay, this is some time later, and this is what I meant with the floor panels flipping. These two floor panels are facing opposite directions. It won't affect the sphere in any real way. It just means when it comes to placing the power doors, you've just got to be aware of the top edge of the floor panels so you know to keep the distance for the connector point. There's also a point where the wires crisscross each other. You've got to watch out for that one as well. Now you can carry on placing the wires like I have all the way around to make that perfect sphere. Or you can use a little trick that I'm about to show you using those alloy floor panels. So, good time to make a save. Before we get to my trick, let's place some floor panels. It's a simple case of using the Banjo wire glitch on the edge of the wire, which is selecting an item, going into the wire menu, selecting the connector point, and hitting wire and place at the same time, which is quite an easy glitch. But a really important tip for this point is to use the struts as a guide so you know which wire point to pick up from. I'd also work from the top and the bottom and then work towards the centre. And as you can see from here, it's the strut that tells me that that's the correct connector point. don't want to do the wires all the way around, but you do have to do it for the top and the bottom, like that right now. But now here's a quicker method, but it isn't perfect. Select your desired panel, go into wire menu view, you can see the central line and the groove along the panel, or go into wire glitch, flow panels, using that. Just spend a bit of time lining it up. It might not be absolutely perfect, but it's going to save you a hell of a lot of time. And as this is the easiest wire glitch, all you have to do is hit place and triangle at the same time, all the way around. But before you get too carried away, remember to do the door area, just so you know where it is for later. You can now delete the long angled wire, but remember to leave the one in the centre, the one you used at the very beginning. You'll need that for later. Well, that looks like all the panels are in place. Let's do a save, the all important one, because we're now going to delete the scaffolding. So if you're not confident, take your time, save lots while doing this, especially if you haven't used the wire to glitch the floor panels, because there'll be no coming back. And if you need a panel at the right height for your door entrance, just drop down 3 short walls. But I'll go into that in my next video when I go into more detail about how to dress and place floors inside the sphere. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button, or on the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.